Closure and resolution are seductive, and I don't think they are as necessary as we often claim them to be. What I mean to say is that we as humans aren't just uncomfortable with uncertainty, but we moralize the removal of said uncertainty. And often we confuse feeling better with being right, or we contain closure as a virtue rather than what it is, which in actuality, all we know as humans is seeking resolution, and it feels that it's a flawed system solely because if you choose not to forsake resolution, you sacrifice the pursuit of meaning. And often this is what leads to close-minded philosophies or circular reasoning, or even an entrapment with one's own logic or morality or perspective or philosophy or ideology, broadly speaking, right? And comfort denies you that solace or improvement that you would often better find if you were uncomfortable or if you were uncertain or unknowing of things. It's not that I'm condemning the idea of resolution itself. It's more so that it's an observation that I've made in my own life. And I think that we often confuse that resolution simply as we treat closure as a virtue. We often treat resolution as if it's an ethical practice or as if it's something that we should be seeking. We kind of present it as if it's like a kind force or as if it's not a detriment on man. Reassurance, it feels like care, and it asks you to stop seeing things. When you seek resolution or closure, what you're actually seeking is the lack of a necessity to see beyond that thing or beyond that place. Comfort is like a lie that we tell ourselves to survive. And honesty feels cruel, whereas comfort feels moral. And this is why often you'll find people prefer the unethical resolution, in that they prefer a lie that will help them rather than a truth that is painful. And in that same sense, that lie is equivalent to the resolution being unethical. I'm not saying that it's evil. I'm saying that it's naturally seductive for man to seek a resolution in things where it might be harder to place otherwise. To be honest, I think that when you lack resolution, that uncertainty, it isn't made for man. I don't think, typically speaking, someone can survive in a prolonged state of uncertainty, because in the end, we do need bases that we live our lives on, and those things can be concluded as resolution. But I think in seeking something or pursuing understanding or greater knowledge, you cannot claim to want resolution, because to want resolution is to want closure, and to want closure is to want to stop seeking. So if you wish to seek, you must not wish to resolve. If that is the best way I think I can explain that. And I think that resolution itself is trading your accuracy for relief, where you might be able to receive relief or closure or be absolved of the need to seek something, either ontologically, philosophically, even in the most simplest of morals. You might be absolved of the need to pursue a knowledge by resolution, but in reality, all you've done is shorten your horizon. You've kind of started to chase inquiry prematurely, whereas when you deny yourself that resolution, you allow yourself a broader horizon, and epistemically, And philosophically, you allow yourself less ability to absolve, which leads to a greater knowledge horizon, right? Like you might be able to understand more, in that when you stop seeking resolution, you give yourself a chance to truly experience more. And I think that resolution, it kind of destroys everything that it touches, in that the systems that a lot of people build their lives on, they don't reward you for the seeking. They reward you for the closure. They don't reward you for the truth, or even if there is no truth to be found, you're never rewarded in the seeking, you're rewarded in the destination, right? And even historically speaking, there hasn't been many philosophers or people of their time that were rewarded for their restraint, in that they did not deny themselves or allow themselves to be dishonest in pursuit of resolution. It's uncomfortable, and it doesn't feel good to lack resolution, but it's more real to what you believe, or what you can believe, than a conclusion ever will be for anyone. And I think that grief, similarly, it endures and it survives. And the reason it does that is because it doesn't resolve itself, right? Grief isn't telling you a lie, and it isn't telling you that things will be okay. The uncomfortability of grief is what makes it poetically beautiful, because it's not a resolution. It's almost entirely truthful. And in truth, resolution would want you to lose your grief, which would be a denial of what you are, whereas truth would want you to keep the grief to continue being who you are. But it's not to say that when you refuse resolution, it will improve your life. On the contrary, I think that broader denial of resolution and acceptance of truth actually denies you the ability to be easy to be around. I think you will be more challenging for people to be around. You will be harder to like. And a lot of people seek someone who lands somewhere. They want to know, hey, I'm right here and this is where I'm going to be. But when you say, I will not be resolved, you are saying, I'm here, but I can be there and I will be there. And I can be anywhere where there is something to seek. And that's uncomfortable, in that no one truly can appreciate that, right? Like, even for yourself, the system of denying resolution will not bring you joy. And I think that even if you choose to seek, and you are appreciated for it, or you believe that you are praised for it, it won't be the type of praise you want. It will be the type that miscategorizes you, or that alienates you from your beliefs, from your friendships, from whatever, right? It's not that you don't want to hear that you're smart, or that you are capable of seeking, or that you have a broader horizon. Like, even if you have better cognition, morally speaking, philosophically speaking, it's not always for your betterment. Arguably, it is, you're worse off for it. You don't benefit from that at all. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. But it's honestly just that the more that you allow yourself to know, the less comfortable you can be. So that at some point, resolution will say, hey, this is maybe where we draw the line. As long as you deny that line, you won't be easy to be around, and you won't be happy either. But I think if you want truth, those are the trade-offs for truth. In that same thread, I would argue that when you choose to refuse resolution, you can't categorically say that the resolution itself is weak. That would be dishonest. But what you can say is that resolution itself is dishonest, in that it denies you absolute truth. It absolves you of your duty to seek knowledge. And by doing so, it's a dishonesty towards yourself, right? I don't think one should be soothed for clarity's sake. I don't think that the ultimate seeking in life should be to be soothed or to be at peace or to be happy. I don't think those are the conclusions one should seek in life. I think it should be in the pursuit of knowledge. I think that in that when you seek endlessly or you are in pursuit of knowledge, you learn to realize that concluding something falsely or subjugating your mind to a resolution that you do not even actually conform to as a conclusion would be a lie to yourself. And who would really want to lie to themselves like that, even if it's uncomfortable, even if the alternative is uncomfortable? I don't think that, like, it's something that one can hold for the horizon of their entire life. But I do honestly believe that if you continually seek resolution, you absolve yourself of your duty and your right to clarity. And that's a lie that you will have to live with regardless of what you tell yourself. And it's implicit in everything you do once you decide that resolution is what you want. Yeah, that's it.